So I watched The Joker and I have a lot to say about it. It was a really good movie. So this movie was directed by Todd Phillips and he constructs a new version of the story for the Joker. This movie has a lot of textbook warning signs, including child abuse, unstable family life, antisocial behavior, and a lot of other signs of mental illness. Enemy means completely letting go of social standards and norms. And in this film, that's exactly what the Joker did. He has this condition where he laughs at inappropriate times, and basically his mental stability and mental health isn't really explained until the end of the movie. Like, you don't know why he's acting the way he does. In this film, it shows that Arthur would meet with this woman who was being prescribed medication, taking medication for his condition, and this woman would be his counselor and therapist, and he would talk to her about how he was feeling. But keep in mind, his whole treatment is being funded by the government. The audience is conflicted between feeling bad for him and feeling disturbed by him. So, in the movie, he starts off working as a clown and advertising the store, and he's one of those people with the signs or whatever, and these kids come and steal his sign. So he chases after them, and he ends up getting beat up by these children in an alley, and gets fired for losing the sign. It's the beginning of when society is being so evil towards him, and it drives him mad. He was on a bus with there was this little kid, and he was, honestly I can't remember it that clearly, but he was on a bus and there was this little kid and he was trying to make the little kid laugh, and then the mom got mad at him. While the mom was getting mad, he started laughing because, that's part of his condition, and he handed her a note, telling her why he was laughing at an inappropriate time. And she was still being very mean to him, which goes to show how much society tends to ignore mental illness and just sweeps it under the rug. Nobody really cares to be conscious about each other's emotional state or anything. I think that's a huge theme throughout this movie, especially because Arthur himself brings that up and says that the people around him and the people in society in general do not seem to care about each other and do not seem to help each other out. He ends up getting fired. But then one of his clown friends gives him a gun, and Arthur's like, I'm not supposed to have a gun, I have a condition or whatever, and his friend's like, no, it's fine, whatever. So he takes the gun. Foreshadow. Throughout the movie, he lives with his mom, and him and his mom have a very close relationship. It seems like he really appreciates his mom. His mom seems to be the only person who actually cares about him. She gives him unconditional love. He gives her unconditional love. They dance together at night. They have a weird relationship, the two of them, but to each their own. But yeah, she seems a little off too. So Arthur and his mom watch this stand-up comedian on TV, and Arthur really wants to be a stand-up comedian, and he really looks up to this talk show host / comedian and has dreams, vivid dreams about being on his show. So Arthur goes out, tries stand-up comedy for himself, and it made the audience very uncomfortable. Instead of laughing at his jokes, they were making fun of him, and it went viral pretty much because of how weird he was. And his favorite talk show host ended up seeing a clip of him. And so the talk show host sees that clip of him, and he puts it onto his show and starts making fun of Arthur, aka the Joker. No wonder he goes mad. This is his favorite person in the whole entire world, his biggest role model, his idol, and what does he do? Go and make fun of him. So that's when Arthur lost it. Trying to lose his shit, right? But around this time is when his therapist is you see, this branch is no longer being funded by the government, I can't talk to you anymore. So not only is he going mad, his only source of help is getting defunded, and he can no longer get treatment for his mental health, which is extremely unstable. That happens. And then he sees that on TV. His mom gets sick. And he loves this woman, so he's going extra crazy. He doesn't have help anymore. People are making fun of him. He lost his job, and his mom gets sick, and she has a stroke, or whatever. She's in the hospital, and he finds out through going through her records that she once had very serious mental health issues. She was taken into a psych ward or a mental hospital, and he finds out through these records that he's actually adopted, which is something his mom had lied about his whole life. And she just seemed to be the person who was purest in his life and loving him, unconditionally taking care of him, but he doesn't remember much of his childhood. and finds out not only he was adopted, but that she would have boyfriends who would abuse him and do things, and one of them kicked him so hard in the head that that's why he has that issue where he's laughing at inappropriate times. And basically she's the whole reason he's fucked up, and if he wasn't adopted by her, who would have known how he would have came out? So since he feels so betrayed by all of this nonsense, he decides to kill his mom with a pillow. He puts a pillow over her face and she dies in a hospital bed. Killed her. And so then he's on the subway dressed like a clown. I don't really remember why. And there are these rich boys on the subway making fun of this girl and just being fucked up. So Arthur starts laughing because he's uncomfortable, and these boys come and start getting all aggressive. They're like, what the fuck you laughing at? Blah, 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 whatever. And then Arthur's like, blah, blah, and like ended up killing those guys. And then, so he killed those bullies and he ran away. And then he starts his killing spree. He starts killing more and more people, and he starts to gain momentum, and people start believing that he's killing the rich, he's killing. And I feel like it starts out by him wanting to kill bullies, but then it just worked in his favor because those bullies all happen to be rich, and so then society supports him because they're like, yeah, we're neglected by the rich too, we're neglected too, and everybody's like all like, you know, getting all radical and shit. And then they start wearing clown masks, and then they like, this is like group mentality, they start going crazy. And then he basically at the end of the film kills a bunch of people and everyone's on his side. He doesn't get caught because everyone's wearing clown masks and he's wearing a clown mask, and he fits in with a group and they start a riot, and yeah, they like basically praise him for killing people and being crazy. So at the end, I guess he did get the acceptance. I guess he was loved in the end, but for the wrong reasons. Usually the norm states that doing things like that are looked down upon, like it's not cool to kill people, not cool. But somehow he makes it look cool, and that makes society act deviant. They go against the norms, they all start setting things on fire, they're all being crazy, and they look up to this deviant idol. They idolize this deviant monster called the Joker. And this film also expresses social stratification in regards to how its variables can affect mental health. The separation of classes within society have caused him to go mad.
If Arthur had some more money, he could be able to afford a better therapist that he actually likes talking to, and afford better medications that would have prevented this whole entire thing from happening. Could have helped his mental health a lot more. He would have been more stable. He would have been he would have had access to the resources that he actually needed.
He would have had access to getting the attention that he needed, all the attention that he needed, because it looks like that if Arthur got a little bit more TLC, he wouldn't be that crazy. Because Arthur is not well off or wealthy at all, it takes a toll on his life, and not only on his, but on society's lives as well. Had those rich people just given a little bit more tax money so that the government could fund that therapist and giving him the money that he needed, there wouldn't be no Joker. And this goes to show how greedy the rich can be, how tax money actually matters, and if people actually cared about the mental health and state of the people around them, then maybe so many crazy things in the world wouldn't be happening.
And in the end, the Joker's crazy became contagious, and everybody lost it. Thanks for watching.